Well, our final conversation for tonight in Rivers State politics. Of course, the Chief Judge Justice Simeon Amadi has declined to constitute a 7-member panel to investigate impeachment allegations against Governor Fubara and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu. Justice Amadi cited existing court orders and a pending appeal that legally restrain him from acting on the Rivers State House of Assembly's request. The Assembly had sought the panel under the constitutional provision for impeachment investigations, but the judge says he is bound by injunctions and is, of course, pedant that prevent him from proceeding. Doctor, we're back to this conversation again. Now, given the political tensions in Rivers State, is this decision purely legal or politically influenced from your standpoint?
Okay, so what has been happening in Rivers, it's a combination of law and logic, and maybe the absence of any of the two. And there's no how you can talk about law in Rivers without talking about politics. It's extremely important. And I use the word Otilo. Otilo means that it's gone. Because from what we are seeing now from Rivers, it means that from June now, political parties will start their primary for the next election. This court case will drag till maybe till Jesus returns at the end of the day. So it's extremely political, and it's everybody looking for what I call survivor.
So how would you describe this situation when it comes to governance in Rivers State? So are we saying that Siminalai's tenure was clouded with so much conflict that governance didn't have the priority, stake in the whole grand scheme of things?
I was in the Polytechnic, to answer your question, sir. And I just won election as a student president. And as I was getting into the Polytechnic gate, one of my fiercest enemies met me and congratulated me and told me something that took me 3 months to unpack. He said the wisdom you need to build a house is nothing compared to the wisdom you will need to live in the house. So winning election is one thing entirely. Whether you're going to live your tenure in peace is another thing. So when people say, oh, this is right, this is wrong, I just ask a very simple question. The essence of leadership is to provide progress. What is the place of Rivers people in all of this? So the blames that are on the table now are enough to go around. But I think if I want to speak strategically, I think that the governor must do everything within his power at this moment not to make a waste out of the remaining time that he has.
Okay.
Because you will not be thinking of the time you have lost. So he has got the house now. He needs a lot of wisdom to actually live in the house. And that's the stage he is in now.
Okay.
I do not expect him finally to go to marketplace now and start dragging people or making jests or making statements. I just need him to concentrate this little time he has to be able to deliver dividend of democracy to the
All right, so Martina, quickly now, on what legal grounds did the Rivers CJ decline to set up the impeachment panel from your standpoint?
Okay, so the Chief Judge, Justice Amadi, he declined us because sustaining interim injunctions issued by the Rivers State Court restrained him from receiving or considering or acting on any, request from the House of Assembly to set up this panel. I remember him citing the doctrine of the least pendants, which meaning that the ongoing appeals and the court orders must be respected, which legally threatened his ability to act. So it's on that grounds that he's unable to, set up the impeachment panel properly.
Thank you very much. Now, Dotun, before we finally wrap this up, is impeachment being used as a genuine accountability tool or as a political weapon in Rivers State? Everything in Rivers now is politics. Okay. And it's very, very clear, except if anybody wants to actually hide under one finger. There was an allegation that this is even beyond the House of Assembly, that there are hands from elsewhere that are trying to actually put everything the way it is. So it's extremely political. Right. And that's why I honestly think that the way forward too should be political. But again, we must lay emphasis on the place of the people. The people appear extremely helpless in this conversation. Okay. But democracy is about the people. It's about the only government that lays emphasis on the people. Everything in democracy is about the people. At the end of the day, I will just plead with all the big political players that they should not forget people. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the money that you have access to. It's not about the power that you can wield. At the end of the day, it's what the people are able to gain from the process of governance. I understand the concept of godfatherism. The truth is that
When you tell the truth about godfatherism, people are actually afraid to hear it. It is not new.
Okay.
But what is new is that the way we play our democracy here, denying the people what should get to them, is what I think should be addressed.
Dr. Onjo, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for actually making it to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here always.
And of course, Martina Ononiwu, of course, a political analyst, director for diaspora relations. Thank you so much for joining us from France this evening. It's indeed a pleasure.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.